The engineering panel. Look what we've done.
The spacesuit.
We made a bit of a mess here, didn't we? We had no choice. Remember, who's really at fault here?
That we will, Captain.
Although badly scuffed, when it was blasted free of the sealing, the gas canister and nozzle look functional.
The curator mentioned these were in each room.
We could open the door and spray it on the terrorists.
If it's fast enough to stop them from using their phasers, it'll stop us too.
And they'd get a warning if the door started to open. Time enough to put the hostages in jeopardy.
The gas canister is a bit beat up from the fall, but still functional.
They're right next door, gentlemen. Caution is advised.
I know, Captain. Look around, get to work. We have no time to talk. I didn't have anything in particular to say anyway.
But you said it quite succinctly, Ensign.
It'll take me at least another hour, Captain.
Scotty?
Sorry, Captain. I thought you said something to me. I don't think McCoy would like this transporter, Captain. Even I would not want to use this one.
You? Not use a piece of equipment? Why not, Mr. Scott?
This little beastie put out a wee bit of energy discharge during transport. You've heard of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle.
Of course, Mr. Scott.
Well, this is the Mulligan certainty field, guaranteed to do bad things to you even Dr. McCoy cannot fix. You can block the radiation, but she's not something I'd want to play with unless I absolutely had to. You'd have to repair the wires anyway. And the power unit's been pulled out too. You think Uhura would like it if we swapped this one for hers?
Scotty, I never took you for having a death wish.
Actually, Captain, this one's not in bad shape. They took the transmitting gear and she's got no power, but other than that she's in fine condition. They run a ship-shaped museum here.
Security lockdown is in effect. Please enter access code.
The access panel is stuck, Captain. I don't think any of us are strong enough to pull it free. There's only a wee bit of juice in this capacitor, but I think it'll be enough to power up the robot. It's a tight squeeze, Captain. I don't think we'd be able to get it back out once it's in. Should I go ahead and do it?
We could use the help, Mr. Scott. Energize the robot. Not yet, Mr. Scott. We may need that power elsewhere. We could use the help, Mr.
Barney, open the pod bay door. I knew it. They forgot to take out the fuel cell. That fusion reactor always scares people enough that they forget the backup cell. It's dry now. You'd need to wet this beauty down and get a catalyst in her. I hate to see a sweet liquid used for something other than tasting, but at least it'll work a fair bit in here. Better than brandies? More than Stums? Look out, fuel cell, here she comes. It's a good thing to build in so much flexibility. The silver isn't a bad catalyst and will act as a contact too.
All hooked up and charging, Captain.
I don't know how this works, but looking at it reminds me of the time when I was a boy working on my first electronics project. I built one of those old crystal radios. Maybe this computer somehow projects its answers into your mind.
It may be just looking at the crystals made you remember that, Captain.
It's possible. Are you now practicing psychology, Mr. Scott?
Oh no, Captain. I'm just a simple country engineer.
It probably wouldn't hurt anything to take one crystal. It's just a display, after all. This one looks good.
Captain, we should unhook the capacitor before we go and take the tray. All ready to go, Captain.
You remove the silver tray.